of, I can sell one product for a long time and it's like the best selling product. Monthly, they're almost like 10,000 for, so I think I've always been like entrepreneur minded. So I had zero idea that what I was doing was dropshipping.
Hi, Mary. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Nadia. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, my name is Nadia and I work at AliDropship video team. And today I'd like you to ask some questions about your dropshipping experience and your experience with AliDropship. So let's start with the beginning. Please introduce yourself for our viewers. Where do you live and what's your background?
Okay, my name is Mary Masambo Thiongo, and I'm originally from Kenya, born and raised in Kenya. And I moved to Finland in 2014 to do my bachelor's here in business information technology. And I graduated in 2017. And then after that, in 2018, I applied for my master's in international business. And I'm currently writing my master's thesis now. So hopefully I will be graduating by end of this year.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
where did you find out about dropshipping for the first time and how come you decided to start it?
Well, I think I've always been like entrepreneur minded. So before I moved to Finland, I was working in one company called Scan Group. It's a very well-known advertising agency in Africa. So I was very privileged to be working there. So I was in the ICT department as a technical specialist. And I remember during that time, when I was having my daily duties as normal, I had this one small manicure set that I had placed on my desk. And then, like guys from the client service used to come for support sometimes physically. And they would be like, can you come to my computer and check this? Maybe when they don't want to send an email. And this lady saw the set and she asked me like, wow, this looks really pretty. Where did you get it? And instantly I was like, I am selling them. So she told me like, can you get me like 2 pieces? I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So it gave me an idea, like if she needs 2 pieces and I have 1 piece here with myself after my work, because people sometimes after 5, there are people left in the office. So I'll move around with my own piece and ask like, hey, I have this type of manicure set and I'm selling them. Would you be interested? And within that day, I had 70 pre-orders. Yes, like it's not like I bought stuff and I brought to the office and I started selling. No, I used my sample.
So you saw the opportunity and you decided to grab it.
Yes, of course. That's exactly what I did. So it was on a Friday. So and then I knew where to get them, and I was buying 1 piece for €2.50, and I was selling to them at €15. So you can imagine, I had like a very huge, profit margin that I made some really good money within, I would say like within the weekend, because I delivered on Monday. I went and bought the stuff. And then on Monday after work, I made sure that I delivered to each and every person. And there's some who even paid before I brought the product. It's like, wow, that's so nice. And then what I liked about this was that some could come back and tell me, hey, Mary, do you still have those manicure sets that you are selling? I need to gift my friend. And I was thinking, what should I give them? I'm like, yes, I have them. So that's how I started like selling things. I think everyone who knew me and saw me knew like she must be selling something. Yeah. So when it comes to now drop shipping and so this was recently, like when I was doing my bachelor's, and then we had this course called the content management system. So mostly we were, there's Magento, there's WordPress, but mostly we concentrated on WordPress. It was my first time to, create a website because it was a course, so we were learning from scratch. So how to get a domain, how you host it, and how you create everything. And so I passed the course, and I had created like a store for selling some clothes. So I wondered, like, after the course was done, what should I do with this website? So I was thinking, like, then, you know, we never had so much information about dropshipping. I never had an idea.
What year was it?
It was 2016.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it was then, yes, 2016. Because I graduated in 2017. So that course, we had done it like a year earlier. But before I decided to, you know, to think like, what am I going to do with it? It was almost like end of 2016. So I would call it like beginning of 2017. That's when I started this whole thing. So what I did is like, I created the Facebook page. Then Instagram wasn't like so much, you know, like the way yeah, exactly. But I knew about Pinterest. So I posted some things on Pinterest. And there's this one lady from Germany who bought a blue top. I still remember that was like my first sale, which was like organic. So yeah. And then the funny thing is, like, I had no idea what I was doing was drop shipping, because I got that dress from another store. And then when they ordered, so they shipped directly to the customer. So I had zero idea that what I was doing was drop shipping, because there was not much information then about, you know, it wasn't too much of information about drop shipping. Yeah.
So you started doing dropshipping without knowing what it is.
Exactly. And then so recently that I'm doing it so much, and I'm like, oh my God, if I only knew, like, somehow I have regrets, because then I think I had so much opportunity then, but it's never too late. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's still a good thing. Yeah.
And how many stores do you have now? And if it's okay with you, you can share some numbers to inspire our viewers, and
Okay.
just the approximate revenue of your stores, and how much time did it take to get to this point?
Okay. So currently I have 3 stores with AliDropship. You know, I have AliDropship plugin on the 3 of them. And then before I was also doing some testing on Shopify. So I've actually handed that over to my sister. So I'll specifically talk about these 3 because they're the ones I currently working on most now. So so for the 3 stores, one is still under construction, but the 2 are already generating revenue. So for both of them, monthly, like monthly, they're almost like 10,000 for. So both of them would be like, because I for the 2 months in May and June, I did over 20,000 in sales, and that was during the coronavirus pandemic. So yeah, so and mostly I've been trying my best to work on organic traffic. So I've been working so much on search engine optimization, you know, just optimizing my sites to just rank higher. And I'm having like very much organic traffic, people visiting my website. So I can see like in a day, this website had like hundreds of people who visited, and probably that day I made about 30 sales organically. So yeah, and this is a strategy that I'm also like starting to work on. Like it's ongoing. I'm trying to move away from, you know, Facebook ads. I'm not saying it's bad to use Facebook ads and all these Google ads, and but if I can be able to get more people to my stores organically, then it's saving me money, and at the same time, I am able to also sell. So I won't say it has been easy. It has been ups and downs. Sometimes you make losses. Sometimes it's not like an overnight
And
success.
how much time did it take, like from 0 to 10,000 per month?
Um, the first time I made a 10,000, that was last year in October.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I made like a 10,000 on a store. But before that, I was like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes there's a day I would go even without a sale, and then there's days I'll go with sales. So it was like up, down, up, down. So and also there's a lot of learning to do, you know, especially when using Facebook ads, and you have to really understand what exactly you're doing, you know, because I see people using Facebook ads, but you just go run ad without any purpose or knowing how Facebook algorithm really works. So that is one thing I came to learn. I have enrolled in some courses. I've taken one course online, and that course really helped me. It's the course that really helped me make my first 10K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that I think I did first 10K in 3 weeks then. That was last year in October. Yeah, and that was like a new store that I had already like started, you know, putting in products and all that. Yeah.
How do you choose products for a store? Is that something connected to your personal interests? And what promotional methods do you use except for Facebook ads and SEO, search engine optimization?
Yeah, so mostly I choose my products based on personal interest and also ongoing trends, you know. So um, one of my stores, I'm actually doing something that I really like. So it's easy for me to actually communicate well with my customers. So I put myself in my customer's shoes. I'm like, I am a lady. Mostly they target women. So I'm a lady. Mostly us women, we like this, we like that, we like this. So it's very easy for me to actually send the message to my customer or to my target audience. And so to do that, mostly I post a lot on Pinterest. I don't know why, but Pinterest has been like my number one social media platform that I really share a lot. And then also, it's not like I've neglected Instagram or Facebook. I also do Instagram and Facebook ads. Yeah, but mostly I notice like Pinterest has been very effective in terms of costs and also driving in traffic. So if I have to run a Pinterest ad, it will be very, very cheap for me compared to Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know I've been also in Facebook groups where, you know, where we have like a whole group of drop shippers. It's like where we share challenges, like, oh, I have this problem, how can I resolve it? Oh, Facebook disabled my account, well, what am I supposed to do? That Facebook page has also been very helpful because you're also learning from other people's mistakes. So choice of products really matters because it can take me a while. I think that's one of the main challenges that I have. It can take me a long time before I know like this is the product that I want to sell. And Pinterest comes in whereby when I post a product or I put a post or a pin, I check like how many views it has, and then I'll check how many people have saved that pin and how many people have commented. You know, I'll check the reaction of people. Then I'm like, okay, this product really, you know, people are interested in this product. Then I would use that and then go run a Facebook ad because then I know I'm gonna get more traffic because I've already like have a social proof about the product. So that's why I find Pinterest
Mm-hmm.
very, very useful. Yeah.
How much time does it take to manage your stores every day? Like how much time do you spend on it?
It depends. Sometimes it depends on exactly what I want to do. So probably I have this day that I've had sales. So I don't process sales on the same day. So I can like have process, if I have sales for 3 days, I'll process them on the third day. So, but mostly in a day, I would spend about 5 to 6 hours approximately to do like anything that I need to change, or I need to update a new product, or probably I need to also reply to my customers, because also customer service is very, very important. You have to put the trust between you and your customers. So I try as much as possible to make sure that I reply to them in time. You know, there are others who would like text me and ask, they will write to me and ask like, oh, I have this problem. Can your product help me to solve this problem and all these things? So I have to make sure that I try my best to respond to them, because some people will come with questions they have not bought. Maybe they're not following up on orders, but they want some help based on your products, and then you win them in. So you find them, they're buying. So yeah, so it's very, very important. And also after sales, you have to also keep in touch well with your customers after they buy. So it's very good to maintain them so that they can come back to buy more. Yeah.
Yeah, have you built your stores yourself from scratch, or did you get a custom stores? So,
From scratch. Everything I've done from scratch. Reason being, I wanted to learn. You know, when I made my first store, I think that one was based on the cost, but after I learned, it was because when I started my I was start with when I started my first AliDropship, using the AliDropship plugin, I did everything from scratch, from getting my own domain, hosting, and adding products and all those product description, every single thing I have done myself. So it has made it easier for me that if I have another idea and I want to open another new store, it's very easy for me because I've already had experience of how to open one. And what makes me more happy is that I've also been able to help some of my close friends to open stores, because they have zero idea of like, okay, I need to sell this. I see people selling things on internet, but I don't know how this whole process works. So there's so much information out there that is very confusing. So for me to help them, it also activates my mind more, like I find like the whole process sticks better. So yeah. So everything I've created myself.
that's impressive. And how did you first hear about AliDropship? Like, did you consider other platforms to start dropshipping? Well, what was important for you when you chose like AliDropship? Why did you choose us?
So initially, I think I had mentioned that I had some Shopify stores and all that. So I think after I had my store, like the WordPress one, then I could see like there's a lot of information about Shopify and all these things. So I decided to go for one. And what really shocked me is that, I have to pay every month. There's this subscription fee every month, every month, every month. And then I was scrolling on Facebook. That time I only had a store which was like a month or two old in Shopify. So I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see your ads, AliDropship ads, and they're like, oh, you can, it was actually about the AliDropship plugin itself, because I think you have a variety of products. So this one was specifically about AliDropship. And what caught my attention was that importing products directly. That was my main, because when I had my WordPress, I used to do everything manually. I'll go, I get images, then I post them. Then everything was manual. If I get an order, everything I have to process it manually. So what really caught my attention is I saw like, I think you really advertised well your key value propositions to me because I was able to import products easily, also find suppliers easily, and also I was able to process orders automatically. Like just one click and the whole thing, the email address, the contact information, everything is filled up, and it's just a press of a button, and it saved a lot of time. Time is money. So I think that was the best thing about AliDropship. And then another interesting thing that I really like about AliDropship was about it's a one-time payment. So once I have it, I know I can use it as long as I want in that specific store. So, and I think it's quite reasonable for the amount that one can acquire it from, compared now to what I was considering as the other platform that I have to pay at 29 or whatever every month. I think that was too much cost for me. And as an entrepreneur, my goal is to reduce cost and increase my sales. So that was one reason why I went to AliDropship. Yeah.
Thank you. Um, before I started dropshipping from AliExpress, what was like your biggest concern, your biggest fear, and how it turned out to be in reality? Was it there something that kept you concerned before you started? Express dropshipping, I mean.
Yeah, so one thing was like, first of all, I didn't want to disappoint my customers, so I was very keen on the delivery time, you know, because I know how hectic it can be. Because I've had these ones, several scenarios where, oh, my order is late and all this. So my main key was like, if I do this, are my customers going to get their products in time? You know, because that's also a risk I'm taking, that I want to build a good relationship with my customers. So I want them to also have a good experience when they're shopping on my stores. So that was one thing. And another thing is like, you have, as an entrepreneur, you have to be ready to take any risk that comes your way. You know, you have to be mentally prepared, because as much as you're doing, something can happen. Like sometimes I've had my site go down. Yes, yes, it has happened before. Um, and then I had to, you know, have to keep in touch with my hosting company and all that. So it's also a challenge. There are things that are way beyond your control, but sometimes you try to work, if you have to move maybe to a better supporting, you know, web hosting or something, like, because you can imagine you when your site is down, so that means you have no sales. And then if there are people who have already bought and they want to go back to the website and track their orders, they can't be able to do that. So it can look a bit spammy, you know, like, are these people like conning us or something like that? So that is one thing I have also tried to work on, to make sure that my site never goes down. So right now I'm hosting well with one company, and I'm not disappointed so far. So yeah, those are two things: that keeping my customers happy, and at the same time making sure that my websites are accessible at all times.
And for shipping times, how like you overcome this problem? Like, did you find the right suppliers that don't disappoint you and your customers, or what?
Yeah, so what I do, I spend also a lot of time to communicate with suppliers. So before I even ship with them, I have to communicate with them, like, I have these orders, I need them shipped here. How long is it going to take, or how fast can these people get their orders? So that is one thing I really work on, because sometimes I have this thing of, I can sell one product for a long time and it's like the best selling product. So that means I would be dealing maybe with one supplier who is shipping that product for me at a good price. So I tell them, like, I have this number of orders, and that's why I take 3 days before I process everything. So when I'm processing everything, they're getting all the orders at the same time, and it's easy for them also to process everything at the same time and send. So I discuss with them the shipping period, and I'm very happy that most of them have not disappointed me. I've had one, two somewhere, you know, like, but sometimes I just change. So yeah, so you have to be very careful when you want to you know, you have to keep a good communication with your supplier, do some good research, and try to have that communication with them and ask them, like, how long is it going to take? And then you don't overpromise to your customers and then they wait for a longer time. Yeah. So good
Um,
communication is good. And also keeping track. I have a database I've created for all my suppliers and the kind of products they sell. So it's easier for me to reflect on, okay, if I want this, then. And then there are those suppliers who also recommend products related to what I have bought before. And they will tell me, like, this is a good product, and it's like, it has just, it's like a new product. So they somehow also help me, make it easy for me to actually also choose the next product that I want to sell. And the fact that they also deliver in time, it's very easy for me to buy also from them. So I don't have to struggle much looking for a supplier. And also they're good when it comes to giving me like the drop shipping prices. So they don't sell to me the same way they would sell. So they will reduce the cost based on my number of orders that I have. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, communication is important.
Yeah.
Like, is dropshipping now your full-time activity or side hustle, and how it changed your life? Like, what your family or friends think about this? What happened when you started dropshipping?
Okay. So currently I am working as a freelancer here. So my work is very flexible. I work when I want to work. And so that has given me a better opportunity for me to work on my dropshipping. So I would say it's my side hustle. It's like half, yeah. So, and at the same time, also my freelancing job is also like a side hustle. So everything is like, and being a freelancer here, it also means you're an entrepreneur because when I work, I don't want to say what kind of, sometimes you sign contracts and you don't have to keep saying what the information is, the company is about, but I work as, it's more entrepreneurial because I have to open my own company here in Finland. So if I have to do that job, is based on my own timing and when I need to fulfill that job. So, and I'm paid as a company. So I'm still like an entrepreneur in a way. So, and then on the other hand, I'm now doing this drop shipping. So I have a good balance for me to deal with both of them. And then the best thing is like I can take holiday whenever I want. So even on my other job, I'm still my own boss. I don't have to call anyone and tell them like, okay, I need to have, I would like to request if I can have leave for this day to this day, or no, I can just close my eyes and wake up the next day and I say I want to go somewhere and nothing is going to stop me. So last year I was able to travel to Asia with my friend and we went to like 6 countries. So we started like from South Korea, we went to Hong Kong, then we went to Macau, we went to Thailand, Malaysia, and then we went to Bali in Indonesia. So, and it was like a whole 1.5 months for the whole trip. And before that, I had traveled to Kenya to be with my family for also 1.5 months, from May until mid-June. Yeah, so it gives me some kind of flexibility and freedom. And the best thing is that when I'm traveling all around, I have my laptop with me, so I'm still working. So that's the best thing. You're still making some money and at the same time you're enjoying your life. So there's a lot of hard work that comes into this. You have to put in so much work, but the results sometimes they're very sweet because now I can feel like I can do this, then I can wake up the next day and I want to do that. So it's so freedom and flexibility is the best thing. So right now, if someone wants to tell me like I want to be employed, I don't think I don't think that is something I want. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. What
Yeah.
do you have like any advice for someone who is thinking about starting dropshipping now? Something you would like to say to encourage people, or maybe mistake you want to warn people not to make?
Okay, the only mistake that they will do is not to try. That's the only mistake I would tell them, like, okay, the mistake you've done is not trying at all. So if drop shipping has ever crossed your mind, the only thing you can do is to start from somewhere. You have to, the good thing is like right now, I know there's so much information out there about drop shipping and all that. So someone can easily go on YouTube and learn something about drop shipping if you're really, really into it. There are people who have created courses and, they have outlined the key basics of drop shipping just to understand the whole concept. So at least right now, I find it like it's easy. It can be easy, but a bit confusing because too much information also can be very distracting. You actually what you want to do, but you don't know where to start. So for me, I would really, really, really urge whoever wants to start, just start. from somewhere. And AliDropship, there's one thing I like about AliDropship, because I think almost every day I get an email about a different topic. You like publish blogs so regularly that I read all of them, and that information is very helpful. So I would say if someone actually gets the AliDropship plugin and maybe wants to start, you guys have created a really, really nice content that someone can actually follow and understand how, if someone wants to start drop shipping as a beginner, you know, you have guidelines on what to do. And it's, I think they're very lucky to have this information now. If we had this information like 2-3 years ago, then I think I'll be the most richest person in this world. Yeah, so start, don't fear, and you know, there's a lot of work. It's not like overnight success, because people have, you know, there are people who, I think you have also experienced people who are selling like courses online, you know, they show so much success in what they have achieved, but behind that success, there's a lot of work that has been put in. So you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot to put in the work, and you know, the results will come later, you know. So, and the results are good. It's something that is worth going for. So just start.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for kind words about our work and for your
Yeah.
inspiring story and
Yeah.
for sharing so many details about it, like about your strategy with Pinterest and with search engines optimization. Yeah, I think it's going to be really useful for our viewers. And thank you very much again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this interview. So, and it's very good for me to share this, because there are people who are out there who would want to be encouraged to start. You know, someone wants to start, but they don't know how, or maybe they have the fear, you know. But I think it's a good thing to spread the word, and, you know, and there's proof of concept, you know, this thing is working, and it's, you know,
And
it's
you're a
achievable.
real person who achieved all these things, so it's real. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.